Hello everybody, this is Marcus Toole, and happy winter solstice. It is December 21st, 2024, and we are in my home orchard at the Huckleberry and Blueberry patch. And my last video was me beginning the process of cleaning out the weedy vegetation and pruning the huckleberry bushes. And so we're going to do a walkthrough, and while we do it, discuss next steps. What has not been done yet is I have not pruned the rabbit eye blueberries. That's the cultivars. That doesn't happen until probably early February will be when I'll do that. They're much later blooming, and I don't want to trigger them to bloom too early. And that's the main reason I'm not doing them now. The huckleberries are already beginning, their buds are swelling. They'll start blooming in January no matter what I do. And in fact, one of the bushes is already beginning to bloom a little bit. So without any further ado, we'll do a walkthrough. One of the things that, once you clean up, then you can really see things. One of the projects I'm going to do sometime this week is I'm going to start filling in some of the gaps where huckleberry bushes have either died, or I pulled them out because they weren't very good, or I pulled out other things and has left gaps that can be filled in with a new huckleberry bush. So this is one of the gaps here, and I will move a huckleberry bush there. I plan to donate this fig tree and one other that's in a spot that's too shady for a fig tree, and I'll plan to donate them to the food bank, and because they have a property and they want to have some of the property around the food bank. They want to have some fruit-bearing plants growing around it, and a good one for them to have would be a fig tree because that requires so little maintenance. So I want to give them that, and I want to put a huckleberry bush there. Either that or a rabbit eye blueberry bush. I haven't really decided yet. I'm going to put a huckleberry bush right here. There was a loquat here, but that loquat would, if it gets any bigger, it'll create too much shade on the huckleberries and blueberries, so it can't stay. So, and that's another reason why I don't want the fig tree. It'll never really thrive in this spot. And if it did thrive, it would create too much shade. So I'm going to put a huckleberry there. I'm going to get that huckleberry bush from over here. This is a really good one. This mature plant is really good, and it suckered this year. So it's got this sucker coming up that's far enough away from the plant that I can remove it without damaging the plant. So that's where that spot's going to get filled in from. And having it close by will help me remember what strain it is. Generally speaking, the small huckleberry bushes and the ones that got a good pruning last year got a light pruning this year, and the ones that did not get pruned last year got a heavy pruning. So that's generally the approach, but they all got pruned some this year. Here's another gap. Here I had a huckleberry bush that's always kind of languished, and a camphor tree came up in it. And the thing is, camphor trees will poison whatever they come up in, and it has basically poisoned that little bush. So I'm going to actually just mow this spot and make sure until I'm sure that camphor tree is good and dead. If I go ahead and fill this gap, what I'll do is put a huckleberry bush that's kind of over here. It'll be a little too close to that huckleberry bush, but that's okay. I'll just let them grow in together and be kind of like one extended bush. And in fact, the one I plan to move there is a sucker from this one, and this is one, and you see the sucker there, And this is one of those strains that have the really dark, shiny berries, and they have kind of a upright, spindly growth habit anyway, so it probably won't take up much space in this spot, and it'll be fine for it to be next to this other huckleberry bush. Let's see, another project that's coming up pretty quickly, sometime during between now and New Year's, is the pear trees are going to get pruned. When I prune them, I will also collect scion to be sold of my pear strains. Another project that will be done first before I do that is I will spray down the pear trees and the plum trees with a mixture of liquid copper and hydrated lime. That's called a Bordeaux mix, and that will be my winter spray that will help kill any lingering bacteria and fungi that's on the trees. Try to kill it out so that it doesn't, to help reduce the disease pressure on the trees this coming season. There's a spot here about where a little bit further out than where the cat is laying. I'm going to put I'm going to add a rabbit eye blueberry to that spot, and I'm actually going to get some of the blueberries for that purpose over here. I'm going to plant several in the front yard where I have space, and these are some blueberry bushes that I had begun the process of removing them, and then a dead tree fell on them, and it just kind of stayed on top of them, and I wasn't able to mow in here easily for a little bit, and so they kind of came back, and I'm kind of glad they did, because I now have a space for them, and these are all named cultivars. I've forgotten which ones are which. I kind of think this is one of the new ones that's kind of fancy. Has real big berries. This might be a Brightwell. I'm not crazy about Brightwell, but the leaves also look like it could be a powder blue. If it's a powder blue, that's good. And really, the way it has come up, I can get 2 out of that plant, if not 3. And then over here, I know that this one right here is a tiff blue. This has an enormous root system, and I don't know if I'd be able to get that up or not. Even if I can't get the whole thing up, I might be able to divide a plant off of it. This is little only because I was able to get to it with the lawnmower all summer. So that's and so one of the places these are going will be in the front yard, and I can show you that. This is a big, these 2 blueberry bushes are going to have to be pruned. I'm actually, this one here is way overdue for having some big canes. I'm going to remove that cane, and I'm going to remove that cane, and for sure, and that will add a lot of vitality to that bush, as well as reduce the amount of interference to the bush next to it. Let's see. So in terms of where I'm going to put bushes, I'm going to put one basically here, close to where the cat is, and I'm going to put I'm actually going to remove this little plum tree, and I'm going to put one just to see this. There's a rabbit eye blueberry bush there. I'm going to put one right to the left of it, and then here is the water line, and I'm going to put one right here. They'll be kind of close together, but that's okay. I kind of want to create a screen between my house and the apartment complex that is being built over there. And see, we have one of the young huckleberry bushes I planted here. Now the huckleberry bushes will get, they typically get much bigger. They don't always get bigger, but they typically do. I mean, this is an example right here of about a 4-year-old plant, 4 or 5-year-old plant. So, and it's already getting some size to it. And that one there is a 12-year-old plant that I gave a really severe pruning to last week, which if you watched the video, you got to witness. Anyhow, there's a pear tree that's going to be pruned, and of course the plum trees are going to be pruned, but they don't get pruned until early spring when they start putting out. Anyhow, I'll talk to you guys later, and God bless.